What's up, guys? Welcome to the GSL Super Tournament. We are now in the round of 8. And by tomorrow, we're going to be in the round of 4 and then the finals. We are just tearing through this thing.
Yeah, our weekend tournament, the first one of the year, is going fantastically. The matches so far have been off the hook, exciting.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we watched Gil, Dark, and Solar beat amazing Terran players, each with a completely different style, so we'll see all 3 of those guys play again today. We saw Maru with the most outstanding macro and micro that you can ever ask for in TBZ.
It was pretty sick, man.
Yeah.
I was pretty blown away. He looks like he might be able to win this whole thing. Also, in the round of 16, we had a lot of upsets.
So many upsets.
It was
3 of the 4 Terran Horsemen died.
Yeah.
Sue, the GSL finalist, died. Stats, the GSL champion, died. That's like all the upsets.
Yeah. It was, if there was a possible upset, it could happen. Or it did happen, rather. We had Beyond versus Dark. Obviously, that could have gone either way, so we can't really say there was an upset there. But, yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild. In this tournament, in the round of 8, pretty much most of the players that we have here, I didn't think we're going to get this far. So we got to give them a nod and say that they are definitely improving. And a lot's on the line here. By tomorrow night, we're going to have a champion.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think. Look at this set of players. Who ends up winning? I mean, there's a bunch of names here that you're like, yeah, absolutely. herO, Bill, Dark, Solar, and Maru are all like championship guys, basically. GuMiho, Alive, and Hush kind of coming in from left field a bit.
Hush our dark horse of the tournament. And with herO over here, you know, it was really crazy to 3-0 TY. I know that herO would be taking games off of TY, but to 3-0 him?
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty crazy. And like using that kind of trademark, very aggressive style, herO continues to play aggressively, and it'll be cool to see what GuMiho has against that because he's such a different style of Terran. But Gil Dark ZVZ is just going to be madness. Alive versus Hush, I'm going to have a lot to say about that one. Alive, of course, on fire lately, but Hush has a different brand of PvT than anyone that you've ever seen, guys, and you are going to have fun watching what he does.
I think our final match will be interesting because I think it's either going to be very one-sided and Maru dominates, or it'll be very close. Solar with a completely alternative style, doing a lot of pushes with lurkers, which I know you and I, and I would say we cast a lot of StarCraft. We don't really see that very often. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it never happens. You don't make lurkers against Terran, but Solar did a lot, and he won, and it was really super well done. But we'll talk more about that when we get there. Right now, we have Psystorm's GuMiho going up against Root's herO, and this is, like, really going to be awesome because GuMiho is such a different style Terran. Like, he'll skip the Reaper a lot of times. This guy will generally, like, remember the build of Ryung where he got like a Cyclone and some Marines and a Viking. He'd just be like, okay, I kill your third if you don't make extra gates before it. Like, GuMiho's that same type of aggressiveness and then also great multitasking, everything to back it up.
Yeah, their two styles might really clash with each other here.
Yeah, could be.
Both of these guys are initiators in this matchup. herO is somebody who knows how to cut you at the Achilles heel right away. He gimps a lot of his opponents. Sometimes the follow-up is a fatal blow with a timing attack. The other times he just outmasses and outproduces and eventually engulfs the other guy's army with his. But yeah, GuMiho, he likes to get in there right away. I'm wondering if we do have any proxies here, if they end up proxying each other at the same time.
That is actually
I think
a real
all these two players, I think it's the most likely. And to be frank, with these two, how do they both open? It's a best of 5.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's super interesting because herO is kind of like, I don't want to say the inventor, but definitely the guy who has made Mothership core rushes and offensive pylons popular. But GuMiho has good natural defense against that. Like, he skips the Reaper a lot of time, gets those extra Marines, which makes it that much harder to break through.
He also likes pushing with Cyclones a lot.
Yeah.
I do feel like if we go into late game, it's very possible that GuMiho might just be better at the multitasking. This guy does drop and harass a lot. At the same time, though, herO, I think out of all the Protosses we have, you really identify him as the guy that has that specific build that's just going to disarm the other player.
Yeah, and his control really backs it up as well.
Yeah.
He definitely, you know, with parting having disappeared into the vapors of Earth, like herO is like basically the micro Protoss. Like,
yeah,
he's got the control, he's got the execution.
If you are going to go into a StarCraft tournament, herO is probably one of the better players to study.
Yeah.
He really knows what he's doing. He doesn't necessarily have the best builds to use when you're laddering because you don't really know who you're playing against. A lot of the stuff that herO does works because he's playing against somebody who's so smart. He's able to throw out a lot of information or do a lot of reads that a lower player might not pick up on. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, and I would say with herO here, like a lot of herO's losses are him gimping himself, where it's like, okay, you were
overextending or something.
Too aggressive here. It's like, oh, well, you're foregating after an Oracle, and it's like, if the Terran like defends enough, a lot of times herO will die because of that. But the thing is, when herO decides to back up and play a macro game and actually transition, he can do that very, very well. It's just a lot of times he just thinks he can kill everybody, which is usually true, but it's not always going to be true, and that can be a problem for the guy.
I believe this should go to Game 5 with these two. Our map lineup is Abyssal Reef, Newkirk Precinct, Echo, Cactus Valley, and Proxima Station.
All right, it's a good map set.
It's kind of interesting that it's starting out with Abyssal Reef, by the way.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. Abyssal Reef, I'd say one of our cooler maps that we've got here.
Definitely.
At the GSL Super Tournament. But it does reward people that do certain kinds of timing attacks. So I don't know who's supposed to be the defender, who's supposed to be the offender. We see GuMiho over here on the left with his iconic towel. He does have hypohidrosis, so he gets sweaty palms, so he plays with that on top of his mouse.
Yeah, well, herO has hypergosiosis.
Yeah, there you go, herOtosis. This is why you're paid to be here, herOtosis. You're too good. All right, guys, our game is ready. GuMiho versus herO. A best of 5 to move on to the round of 4. In the bottom right, in the blue, our Terran player.
Psystorm Gaming, GuMiho.
Hope you guys are enjoying the new set we had built. When I say we built it, I mean really herOtosis got down there. He got the fences.
Nails.
He was at Home Depot. In the upper left, in the red.
Root Gaming, herO.
We have a cage that they're in. They're not
allowed to leave. I put that all together with masking tape and glitter.
That's right. It's probably going to fall down on them later. So
yeah, GuMiho has a lot of experience with that.
Oh, God, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
That was 2 years ago?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Part of the set
Poor guy.
whacked him in the head.
Yeah,
Our set, in fact, won't fall down because, in fact, we did not build it. So
yeah. Don't worry, GuMiho, you're fine.
Yeah.
Looks like herO's going for a one-base build here. Not like super surprised to see something like this.
No, not at all.
Let's see if there's a Reaper opening or he goes straight into Marines. How quickly will GuMiho actually figure out what's going on? Yeah, 3 probes in each gas. Jeez. Is there a probe out in the map? No?
All right, we're using builds from 2011, guys.
Definitely going to be a Mothership Core Rush coming up here, Tasteless. Probably, if I had to guess, a Stargate as well.
Yeah, I would imagine a Stargate for sure. It looks like it's going to be the first expand for GuMiho here. Now, we'll have to wait and see what exactly herO does. He's a little bit unpredictable because it's not just that you know that herO's going to do some kind of rush. It's what kind of rush does he do? Because if you're playing against somebody and you pretty much know they're aggressive, but you're a solid player yourself, usually you actually hold that. But herO has such a wide range of different strats and builds and tactics that he can employ that it's really tough sometimes to manage. Not only that, but the execution of everything he's doing with that as well. Like he'll see that you're defending over here and then loop around, hit another area. And when it comes to these little micro battles with like a few units versus a few units, he pretty much knows exactly where to hit, how to micro it. Yeah.
He is the absolute best in the world at that, I would say. Like when it comes to a small micro battle.
Almost didn't get the Nexus up.
Yeah, that was quite close with the Reaper there, but well timed out by herO to get that up and is sending the Mothership Core across the map. There's not a probe over there, right? Yeah, that's a Marine. So this is going to be something where he's trying to pick off any Marines he can with a Mothership Core to start off. and then the Oracle will fly in. But you know, you're quite right. Like, if you see a very small micro battle, hero's going to win it.
Yeah.
Like, he will get absolute maximum damage and get out. And, like,
the only other person
no one
I
can
think
do
that
like him.
comes close is SOS. But SOS is just way advanced in the strategy game.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so the Oracle going to be on the way. Mothership Core flying in. There's a Widow Mine coming up, so that's definitely going to be pretty crucial in the defense against the Oracle coming.
Okay, starting to chip away at these Marines. He's trying to get the Marines to split on the ridge here so that he can pick a fight with them, maybe 2 versus 1. But so far, GuMiho's control is quite good. The Mothership Core is bruised.
Yeah, this is really cool to watch GuMiho. He's altered his play as well. Notice there's no reactor on the barracks. He wanted to have a few extra Marines. Yeah, this is like when you're playing against herO, you got to be ready. But herO realizes this, so he didn't even try the pylon rush. He's so predictably good at pylon rushes that people are really countering it at this point.
Okay, Oracle out here. The mine is trying to get into position, bro, in the nook at that mineral patch, and he's looping back around. But he at least knows where that mine is supposed to be. We'll see if the Terran shuffles the mine into a new location. Second Oracle has been spotted here by the Reaper. He's going to go ahead and take this out. And then he'll be making a beeline over to the Terran's probably natural.
That was like an angel rising to heaven right there. It just went straight up. It wasn't even painful. It's just like, it's time for me to leave.
His soul left his body.
That was the greatest death scene in the history of StarCraft. I am dying.
So guys, on this map, the bodies actually fly up because the map's supposed to look like it's underwater. Normally, we have the ragdoll effects of the bodies rotating around, but instead, the way he died, he just went to heaven.
Yeah.
He just went straight up.
That was fantastic. Okay, so let's talk about this for a moment. I like GuMiho's position a lot here, Tasteless. The Oracles are going to have to kind of work overtime because GuMiho's making some siege tanks. Well, he's made just one so far, I guess. But if he continues to make these siege tanks, like literally one more, okay, he starts it. He's playing against herO, who has opened up with Blink first. Siege tank attacks trade so well against Blink first that oftentimes the Protoss will just die.
Yeah.
And if they don't, it's just like they lose so many gateway units defending that like they're going to be behind in units all game. So things like stasis wards might come into play here, slowing down his opponent in any way, trying to keep him back in his base because of Oracles. These are the type of moves that we have to see out of herO if he wants to win here.
Yeah, I think GuMiho is going to have a very strong time in attack here coming up. We'll see what herO does exactly because he's now taking a Nexus. This makes me a little bit concerned because it's very clear Terran's going to attack.
Yeah.
And the whole idea that Protoss is spending his money on an expansion and with Blink, as you were saying, I don't know about this. You see the Oracles are coming through here. They're tagging the army so that Protoss can see when the Terran's going to leave. That's actually pretty important because if you can actually manage to get a snipe on the tank at any point in time, it completely takes all the air out of the rush.
The tanks are everything. He's going for a third tank, and this is lining up very well with Stimmen +1, so he needs to be moving out the moment that this tank pops. 2 more medevacs can be boosted to catch up, and he needs to go right for the throat as well. Don't even waste time on the third. Go into the natural, screw up the rotation of units around and everything, and abuse that low ground with the siege tanks. He's going to hit before Glaives is done, and this is like in my opinion, I look at this, I think that this can absolutely be game-ending.
Well, here's what he's going to do.
As long as he goes.
He's going to fly in with the Oracles. He's going to be careful because there could be mines that could catch him. He's trying to pressure or at least intimidate the Terran into staying back. Every wave of warp ins is going to make the Protoss army that much stronger. So really, timing is everything. It looks like now GuMiho's going to book it. Bringing the mine with it.
The Stalkers are coming out. This is
playing a trap.
The stasis wards are so important. See that Marine? The Marine was sent to try to set off stasis wards. That's exactly the type of move he's got to do.
Okay,
hero's slowing this down as much as he can.
All right, the Stalkers are going to have to blink over here, and they do manage to escape. Now, is he going to trigger that? There's 2 traps here, and one is in the bush. And nice!
That was a sick stasis ward. Oh my god. Even utilizing the fact that it didn't have vision, more units went through the... That was like... I'll talk more about that later, but that was fantastic.
He's going to shade on top of these tanks. He needs to take these tanks out before the rest of these Marines are unlocked from that stasis. And it looks like hero's basically done it.
This was
really nice. Actually going for those medevacs here. Now, this may be a bad angle for... No, actually, I think Protoss is basically fine. He can just back up here.
He just needs to warp in some more units at home. Probably back up, as you say.
Adepts can't really run away against Stim Marines. That's one of the disadvantages they have in that situation. As long as he keeps blinking correctly, he should be in good shape.
Dude, this all comes down to that stasis ward. And where he laid it, right beyond the high grass, it doesn't see everything coming. So a Marine has to get all the way through the high grass. So that stasis ward got way more Marines than you normally see in an attack move into a stasis ward. So, like, that was so well done by herO, and that's like what he needed. Now he's got 3 bases and, like, all these gateway units. He's in good shape, man.
So he's just going to back up. Terran is going to try to get a 3rd base up here, but really, if you don't do a lot of damage to the Protoss with that push, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Even though you're basically going to be remaking a lot of these Marines, Marauders, Medevacs, everything else, the Protoss's army is increasing in sophistication.
And its size is getting pretty out of hand. He's got 1, and Glaives, and Blink. And that is a hell of a lot of Adepts right there.
Is he going to go for it?
I think so.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
He's going to blink down here. The Widow Mine not being set off just yet. And he just completely cleans us up. He may even want to actually counterattack. Let's see. We get another blink over here. A lot of losses taken there by GuMiho. And, yeah, he's just going to go for it. He's warping a gateway in here to increase the rate at which he can get more warp-ins to hit this 3rd base. This was pretty much a seesaw game. And now the pendulum is, swinging back over here in herO's corner. I don't believe Terran can survive this, but let's see. GuMiho is pretty good with his control.
Yeah, he's got a bunker. He's got a couple tanks. Maybe he can live through this. A blink forward. The SCV's coming up here as well.
Not targeting that tank.
Yeah, the tank is actually adding ridiculous damage right now.
It finally dies, but that was a lot of splash damage dealt over here.
And there's a lot of SCVs going down here as well.
Yeah, there's 19 kills so far on the SCVs. Now, keep in mind, he's had more warp-ins coming here from the north. And, in fact, he had to lift that command center off. I don't think that was handled quite as well as I thought herO was going to handle it. It just seemed to me like he really could have just targeted the tank a little bit quicker.
He wanted to end that so bad. It was, like, kind of a sloppy situation. And
well, it's super tempting, right? I mean, like, okay, if I just ended right here, we just go into game 2 and I got that lead. But it seems like maybe it was a little bit of an overextension, maybe not controlled perfectly there. He's going to continue, though, over here, shading these Adepts on top of this army. Now, he's probably going to get some force fields up here, or at least a Guardian Shield, something with those sentries, hopefully.
I think this is, by the way, Tasis, right around where herO should be like, okay, I'm not going to finish him right this second. Yeah. He's still got the advantage.
He's taking a 4th base.
Yeah. I get a little bit nervous because this is like all that herO has.
Well, herO
and if he trades too poorly.
He really was not teching while this was all going on. We thought he was. That's why I was talking about earlier. It's going to get more sophisticated and actually.
Oh, my God.
Okay, well, that helps.
That was mostly Adepts. Should have probably lifted there, but
yeah, and repaired as well. Okay, so he's going to pick up the orbital in his main, but it doesn't look like he's sending it over to the north because there's a pylon over there to warp in. Is he going to just go for it?
Yeah, I think he is.
Wow.
Jeez.
Where are his stalkers? Oh, there they are. They're up there.
He is just trying to end this game.
He's just trying to bludgeon this guy.
I mean, he's getting enough damage each time that I'm not worried about him losing the game at the moment.
Yeah,
but
well, here's the thing is that Terran has almost mined out the natural expansion, the 2nd base. So, I mean, this is not the cleanest way to win a game, guys, but it can work. I mean, he's basically just trading his army that's always bigger into the smaller army of GuMiho. GuMiho's basically going to run out of momentum. You can see he's trying to kite his army backwards here, try to get better surface area, but it doesn't matter. GG.
Wow.
herO wins game number 1.
And I got to tell you, this was a beautifully, perfectly done game by herO. GuMiho absolutely had the advantage with that siege tank push moving out, but having the stalkers out front, catching Marines that were literally running through looking for stasis wards, and then, like, laying it behind that bush, that was just, it was so perfect. And if those extra Marines were there, he does not bust that push. GuMiho gets into position with a bunch of siege tanks, and I think that GuMiho wins the game from there. That stasis ward was just magnificent.
Also, if you note, he was trying to send a Marine out to try to trigger the stasis ward to basically use up the trap in a moment where then the actual main army could come in there and do damage, but he had stalkers out there to assassinate the spotter Marine that came out.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do. If you have Blink, you want to be out there and slow down the push as much as you possibly can, and GuMiho never sent another Marine forward. So, you know, the stasis ward, when it catches like 10 Marines, temporarily there's 10 less Marines or something. It's like, okay, well, I mean, your army just loses.
I mean, this is the power of just removing part of that army from the game. Then you win the first fight, and then when that unstasis is, you win the second fight. So nicely done. I don't know what herO and GuMiho have in store for us in these next games. Out of all the matchups we've casted lately, this is one of the harder ones to call ahead of time, at least with specific strategies. Like, we know that herO is probably going to do some kind of aggressive build, probably going to Stargate right away. But I mean, there's so many different things they could do to each other, and they've got a wide range of that. We actually had one of our players request a break. I believe it was herO.
Yeah.
I guess I know it's herO because we see GuMiho there. Still processing that last loss. And once herO is ready, we let each player have one break within the best of 5 if they request it.
Yeah. It's a good rule. I wish the casters had such a thing going on. But
that's right.
What can you do?
Just in the play-by-play, I'm like, stop. We just pause the game.
Guys, I really got to pee.
I walk to the soda machine, get a Coke.
I just need a breather, guys.
Yeah.
This is really tough casting. But, okay, so one thing I do want to point out as well is these guys are playing around images of each other and themselves. Like GuMiho skipping reactor here, just nonstop Marines, and herO not even trying to pile on.
Yeah.
Even though he's going one base and sending Mothership Core across the map. He's like, no, I'll just pick off whatever Marines I can.
This is like one of the problems when you're at this level, like these two guys. All your games are out there. All the VODs are available on the internet. They can do a lot of research on each other. Granted, this is a tournament that's moving very quickly. It's a 4-day tournament. We're almost to the end of it, but they definitely had all last night to try to map out, what the play style is going to be. And we can see that, especially in GuMiho's state, he altered that a little bit, skipping that reactor, which is really smart. He was very much ready for anything aggressive herO would do. Is he going to do it again, though? I'm not sure.
Well, you just never know. They've seen what each other had planned in that first game. It was really solid strategies on both sides with good mind games on both sides, and herO just happened to come out on top. Now it's Newkirk Precinct time. Definitely a map that you can get very aggressive on, but we'll see how these guys want to play it.
Super Tournament Season 1. Fight!
In the bottom right, in the blue, he is
Storm Gaming, GuMiho.
And in the bottom left, in the red, he is
Root Gaming, herO.
What do you?
He's taken the towel off the mouse, Tasteless.
Oh my God, you're right.
And I was thinking, like, why would you take the towel off the mouse? You know what? This is like maybe like a drunken master micro, right? Like there's disruptor shots coming in, and he literally needs the mouse to be slipping out of his hand so that his Stim Marines go in all different directions and dodge all the disruptor shots.
Oh my God. Oh my God, you're funny, man. I like that.
Yeah.
Do you ever see Drunken Master, the movie?
You mean like the Jackie Chan movie?
Yeah. Oh, it's a great movie.
I love Jackie Chan movies. I actually need to go rewatch them.
That guy is such a legend.
He is.
That guy, I don't know many people that are as impressive as just that human being.
Jackie Chan?
Jackie Chan.
Oh, I know.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is pretty impressive as well.
Yeah, no, he's pretty impressive.
He's led a pretty impressive life so far. Yeah, I got to rewatch that. I'm actually, I'm craving watching Drunken Master again.
Quite a few of the Jackie Chan movies are really good. But then he sold out and started making movies with Owen Wilson, and I was like, no.
You know why they don't make those movies as much anymore? It's so expensive. It takes so long to get each of those fight sequences.
Oh, yeah.
And just like with the rates and how many days. Sometimes you have these scenes that they're trying to do. It took them weeks to get them to execute that perfectly, or several hundred takes. And I believe that Hong Kong actually funded, like the city did, they funded a lot of his stuff and let him take as long as he needed to take to make those movies. But that's why you don't really see many kung fu movies anymore.
I wasn't aware of this.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad, though. I really like that type of movie.
Well, I mean, you can always appreciate it. It's just good action. Anyways, in this game,
ninjas are the best. I
don't know.
I don't care about explosions.
I'm more of a Pirates guy myself, but Pirates are ninjas.
This isn't even a real question, Tasteless, because actually Pirates are stupid next to ninjas.
Wow.
It's not even close.
That's why we have to cast together, as you like ninjas, but I like Pirates. By the way, we have the pylon placed here. Is Mothership Core?
It's on the way, but it's not going to make it.
Canceled.
This is, again, he's
Hold on. He's actually losing 2 probes already.
Yeah, this is
actually
big
pretty
deal.
bad.
That's a big deal. You do not want to be losing 2 probes or Reaper. Like, if you lose 1, it's doable, but come on, anything more than that is really painful. And in fact, with the one
at this
adept, he's
level
going
of
to
play,
maybe lose
dude,
another.
This is basically unacceptable. He's going to have to turn those into spore crawlers pretty fast, Artosis.
Yes.
Look at this.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I feel like I'm watching somebody who's encountered the Reaper for the very first time ever.
Mothership Core actually recalled back to try to help deal with this.
This is kind of a disaster here. I gotta
truly
say, hero's
is.
off to a really bad start.
Okay,
we don't even normally get to cast something like this because it's so rare.
Okay, he's finally going to get it, but that was a very annoying Reaper. He sees that Oracle is incoming. Also, by the way, like, this is... It's so interesting to watch the fluctuation of the meta of the timing of reactors right now against Protoss, because, like, specifically here against herO, this, like, for instance, if you go Reaper into a reactor, the Mothership Core with Pylon Rush that comes after your Nexus kills 2 depots and a reactor 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, someone who has no idea what they're doing can basically get that. But, like, here, GuMiho made 2 Marines before even thinking about the reactor. After that, to push back the probe more quickly, so then there's only 1 pylon, and he can get a cancel. Like, really well done.
Okay, here comes the mine drop. I'm actually even a little bit surprised that GuMiho tried to do this when it got spotted, because he might be able to get the he might be able to get the medevac here. That boost is about to run out. This was pretty bold. The idea was good, but once you're spotted doing this, unless it's like, you know, 4 medevacs. Look at this. All right, this is what we call try-harding. That will eventually go down. And look at this. herO takes a very quick third.
Yeah, and this
cool.
This is totally doable because it was like a mine drop with Marines that came in. He's not really going to be able to force a cancel on this.
If you look at just the amount of that was spent on that drop by Terran and how it basically didn't do anything, that's a huge lead right now for herO. And frankly, despite that kind of disastrous moment with the Reaper coming in there and killing off a good amount of probes, herO is now in the lead. This is very well done.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see Glaives and +1 on the way. And if I'm not mistaken, he only has 1 gate still? Am I right on this?
No. He has 3 gates up.
Now?
He has 3 gates up,
Okay.
and I think he's got 2 more making.
Okay.
We'll check in a second,
Yeah,
but I believe he had at least 3 gates up.
Because I just want to kind of gauge exactly how greedy herO's trying to be inside of this game. Okay, he's making 3 gates right at this moment, so that should be going up to 6 gates. But, like, GuMiho's actually going up to 5 barracks without a 3rd command center, so he's going to be very bio-heavy.
Now, is this too greedy by herO? It feels like it's a little bit risky, even though he did the drop, but let's see.
Yeah, I think that GuMiho can't really push right now. Like, he basically needs good Widowmine hits. If you just bring the Mothership Core over to this 3rd base, like, you're kind of holding him off long enough that your gates kick in. And even though you don't have Glaives and +1 yet, like, you just kind of have enough to fudge the attack. And that's all you need, because you're on 3 Nexus.
Okay, Stim is done. So this is definitely going to be the moment he's going to try to come in here. Now, he's triggered the Pylon Cannon. Are we going to see him pick up and try to rotate in the main, or what? Kind of hard to do. He's already been tagged by the Oracle.
Yeah, with the Phoenixes and all, it's not super doable. And in fact, he's going to try to shade on this army. If he can pick up these Widowmines with that...
no. He needs a...
Good move by GuMiho there. In fact, he just sacrifices that Stalker. Ooh.
Wow, okay, well, that didn't... The idea was good. The execution, not so much. Yeah. The problem for Terran right now is he's actually just stuck on 2 bases.
Yeah, but I mean, this is like the strategy that GuMiho actually wants to go for right now. He's making Liberators because, like, you'd be like, oh, Phoenix's counter Liberators. Not as much as you think.
Not as fast as you think they would.
They don't kill them quick enough. Like, if you're just sitting there attacking the Liberators get a ton of damage done on your Adepts. So this is going to be a very large push coming out of GuMiho. And if you just sit there and make, like, a ton of units and attack, like, Adepts are very good for quite a long time, but you eventually need to get out of them when a Terran army gets sufficiently large. And you see there's actually double Robo on the way right now. So I think herO's starting to smell it out. He's like, oh, you're not taking a 3rd?
He was even making a cannon back there. We'll see if he's ready for this or not. It's going to be very tough. If GuMiho loses this, he's down 2 games. He has not won anything yet.
Yeah.
Note the way the Phoenixes are moving on here. Even if the big Terran army moves out, he wants to try to snag the little reinforcements. In fact, he's just going to come in here and kill off some SCVs. He's looking for any stray units. Fortunately for GuMiho, he's got his army clumped up. He's got to be really careful, actually. Whoa. Somehow not losing anything there. It's like every bullet was evenly distributed to only Protoss shields. That could have actually been really bad, but
yeah, you don't want to be losing those.
Basically, when the big fight comes, you want each of the Phoenixes to pick up a key unit and allow the ground army to beat up everything.
Yeah.
This is not a moment where you want to pick up one unit and have the other Phoenixes attack it. You actually just pick up everything.
You need to. It's like.
Everything
it gets
like
tricky,
a
right?
mine. Yeah.
Because with the amount of Marines, like sometimes you like to draw mine shots with the Phoenix over the army if that's possible. But with this big of an army, I don't think you can plan such a thing. So this is tough, man, because with 4 Liberators, he can't even target those down quick enough because there's a lot of Widow Mines. He's got to do pickups on those. And, of course, Marauders are, like, insanely good against the Adepts because they tank so much.
Okay, is he going to shade on top of this? We see a Liberation Zone getting set up. No, he cancels. He does not commit. And now he's triggered these 3 pylon cannons, all of them at once, by the way.
Yeah, this is herO actually panicking a little bit. He has a lot of Adepts right now, sure, but this setup, Tasteless, is fantastic by GuMiho.
So he's just going to go for it, it looks like. He's going to be right on top of these mines. Here we go!
Oh my god, a lot of mines about to go off. In fact, the Phoenixes eat the brunt of that. GuMiho losing quite a few units. The Liberators getting some damage done, but enough Phoenixes left over to get rid of them.
Yeah, and Terran, again, not on a third base here. Now, there's more Widow Mines planted down here. The shading will commence again. Yeah, he's just, as you can see now, picking up the remainder of these Marauders. I don't think Protoss can actually push much further than this. Then again, against stimmed units, it's kind of hard to actually run away, as exhibited right here. However, with the next few Warpins, I think he's going to be okay. I think actually. Wow,
more Widow Mine hits, actually. This could go right into GuMiho's favor with more Marauders on the way and all these Widow Mines still left alive.
He lost that Oracle, so he doesn't have anything to see.
Yeah.
The Oracle was killed off right before the battle happened, so he can't actually kill the mines. So this is like actually kind of a disaster here. This is like not the way this game was supposed to go down.
Now that was nice. He just flew those Phoenixes over the mines and drew shots into the medevacs. There's no medevacs left with this army right now, so these units don't get healed, and over time, herO might be able to clean it up because of that.
He's got an Observer out now. He's going to scan. He needs to get that Observer! He runs away. Okay, the Observer just barely gets away. herO can stabilize here. I believe the main command center for GuMiho has actually been floated to the third base.
Yeah, it certainly has. You're right about that. Another Widow Mine going off. Okay, we're down to 1 Phoenix. This is getting interesting because it's only Adepts versus a much different unit configuration from GuMiho. Like, he actually is playing with Marines, Marauders, I don't think there's any Liberators right now, but Widow Mines and Medevacs. And with just 1 Phoenix out there, this could be a case where GuMiho stops trying to do this massive push with Mines and Marauders and tries a drop.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
You drop that main and kill those 2 pylons powering all the gates, and it's like, woohoo, almost lights out.
Here's the other thing as well, is you could see he was taking a Nexus up there in the upper left. Now, the fact that this Nexus survived, the third base survived here, is very good, because that means herO still has momentum. But again, the pushes here from Terran are actually just really, really scary.
It certainly is, and without Phoenixes to clear anything out, he's just kind of sitting around with masses of Adepts. He's starting Phoenix production here once again. Okay, I have drop coming in, but plenty of Adepts there to stop it.
Yeah, he's pretty much, without those so many Phoenixes, you
the shade finishes, he's like, okay, now I'll unload. Sick.
All right, yeah, he gets a drop off over there.
And here's that drop in the main base, having a hard time splitting these Adepts, and he doesn't have enough Phoenixes to actually punish anything here.
Okay, he's getting his Adepts down here. Unfortunately, these units are kind of coming in a single file line, not able to do as much damage as they ideally would want to. Okay, this drop is still doing something.
Yeah. Forcing a lot of loss of mining time, killing off some of these probes here as well.
Do we know what the Phoenix count is now?
I think it's 2. No, it's 3 right now. It's 3. 4th one is coming on the way. So, like, he's getting back up there, but realistically with this strategy, you want, like, 7, 8 Phoenixes, to be honest.
Well, it's pretty interesting, because even though Protoss survived the attack, the fact of the matter is that all those Phoenixes were hit. Adepts alone are not as strong as Adepts comboed with Phoenixes. It's also one of the reasons why you don't see the Adepts ever trying to push across the map here, is that they don't have any way to fight the mines easily.
Yeah, and like Marauders as well with kiting, he has concussive shells. It's very tough. Like, herO wants to destroy the units that GuMiho's attacking with. If he can land a shade on top of everything and kill it all, then he can still absolutely take this game down. But GuMiho's got a good spread here. Look at this.
He actually shaded into the middle of that. I'm not sure how this is going to go. There are so many Widow Mines here, although it does look like the bottom part of the army doesn't have any medevacs there. The top part has enough Adepts. He's basically cleaning house. Is this going to be enough? He's now shading forward. He wants to get a good surround on this so that the army can't really kite against him.
He's just trying to rely only on Marauders right now, still rallying a lot of units. The Phoenix is starting to pick up said Marauders so that the Adepts can fight more evenly, but with the rally of GuMiho coming out, he's almost breaking through, but no, more Adepts come.
Yeah, the Phoenixes are really paying off here. He's just isolating these Marauders and taking them out. And actually with the War Prism coming in here right now, again, just like the last game, herO holds, and then immediately counters. This is the only hope here for Terran is keeping this base. If he loses this base, he loses the game. I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah, he can't even really be losing too many SCVs here coming up. He needs to kill off this army right now, but with this many Phoenixes,
good pick up there on the mine.
Yeah.
It looks like with the SCVs hitting, he might be able to survive this fight.
Yeah, he'll kill all the Adepts, but the Phoenix count is back up really where it needs to be, and he continues to warp in more Adepts. He's picking off units left and right.
Oh, he might try to drop into the main. Terran is pretty low on everything. Look at these medevacs. They basically don't have energy. He's now floating the command center that was at his second over to his fourth.
This is a rare occurrence to see just 2 command centers the entire game floating around. If he takes a 5th and 6th base with those 2 command centers, Tasteless, we got a new record.
Yeah, imagine if he just only has 2 command centers this whole game and he just keeps leapfrogging them around the map to expansions.
Turns out that's all you need. Maro's like, oh my god, I'm going to be the best player ever.
He's coming in here now, trying to fish in some of that army. Then he goes right back out here to kill off a few SCVs. Keep in mind, guys, the Terran right now only has 34 SCVs, whereas the Protoss has 88 probes. What's really keeping Terran in the game is the fact that this army is sophisticated. Marauders, Marines, medevacs, mines. Whereas the Protoss is a little bit simpler. It's just a big blunt force of Adepts with some Phoenixes here to make some technical maneuvers. But the fact that he's staying on this means the longer this game goes on, as long as GuMiho can survive, then he might have a chance. Let's see, though. This big battle's coming here now. Huge warp in right now. The arc here for Protoss, not exactly great. Some of those are hitting the command center. Others are hitting the Marines. These mines are going to be set off again here shortly. And an Immortal coming in here.
Oh, man, and with these Phoenixes just picking up every crucial unit, he continues to break through and is destroying the economy.
He lost a lot of Phoenixes, by the way, back there. But look, this is a great play. With only 30 SCVs and all these workers over here, there's actually nowhere for these SCVs to really run. He's going to go up to the north and try to sneak around through the map to get back down. But, of course, where the SCV is going to retreat to? Probably down to this only other expansion. Oh, wow, look at this. Just goes right around. GG, herO wins so far 2-0 in his best of 5. GuMiho needs to come back.
Yeah, GuMiho, I think, put out a pretty solid game right there. Like, I see what his strategy was that he was going for. The initial drop failed pretty hard, but his attack, like, almost did it. Right, he eliminated a lot of Phoenixes. He had a lot of mines left over, but eventually he was just able to bust through. I think that it was like a crazy move that we saw from herO, but he does this from time to time. He lured a lot of mine hits on top of the army, which splashed into, with his Phoenixes, of course, which splashed into the medevacs. And eventually GuMiho didn't have enough medevacs at all. He had to start remaking them. He had none. So his army just didn't have that sustainability he needed.
GuMiho right now looking a little bit stressed out. He has to win the next 3 games in a row against a player that just has some of the best execution in StarCraft 2. herO is doing a really good job.
Yeah.
So from A to Z in these games, he basically has everything covered. I thought that push from GuMiho actually got pretty scary.
Yeah, it did.
And you can see the idea behind it. I mean, he basically was doing a lot more with a lot less, especially economically. Whereas, herO just kind of kept growing and growing, more Adepts, more Phoenixes. And even though GuMiho was taking out those Phoenixes, ultimately, herO managed to come over and crush him.
GSL SuperTournament.
All right, can GuMiho come back? Let's go.
Fight.
Okay, Artosis,
let's go. Let's go.
Yeah! Oh, my God. In the bottom right, in the blue, he is
Psystorm Gaming, GuMiho.
You are so funny, Artosis.
I'm the greatest man who's ever lived! The towel's back on.
If the towel's on, guys, take note. In the upper left, in the red, he is
Root Gaming, herO.
Okay. I really like strategically what GuMiho's trying to do here today against herO. It's just not working is the problem.
Yeah.
But strategically, I think he has been very much on top of it. But, like, herO's on top of it as well strategically. He's kind of, like, doing little counterplays and stuff and changing his style slightly. And not just that, like, herO's just, like, so good. herO is, like, an actual champion guy, right?
Right.
Whereas GuMiho, he's one of the better Terrans, but I think everyone considers herO to be a better player than GuMiho, and I think that class is showing itself a little bit in this series, even though I think GuMiho has come very prepared.
Well, let's keep in mind here, the fact that TY was defeated by herO only a few days ago, 3-0. I mean, you look at that, you got to think, you know, just for herO's sake, it's like, well, yeah, I mean, if you can 3-0 TY, you can definitely 3-0 GuMiho.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
If you can 3-0 TY, you can actually 3-0 any Terran in the world.
Yeah. And the thing is, the games from GuMiho actually look a lot closer than the ones from TY. TY one was a little bit more one-sided than what we're seeing here. GuMiho's really giving himself a fighting chance with these strategies, but let's see how this goes for him. Has an expansion going, making some Marines.
There's the Stargate.
Yeah, nice quick one. Skipping the Mothership Core, it looks like this time.
We'll see if he starts making those oracles right away, setting them over there.
I would imagine. It'd be kind of funny if he made anything other than an oracle to open up.
He's going Void Rays.
Just open straight
He just
Void Ray.
makes a fleet beacon. We're like, whoa. And then he loses. We're like, oh, okay, you can't do that.
It's like a single carrier out, and then Sim Marines kill all the interceptors in a second. Well, what do you say, Tasteless? We got to wait a little bit.
I say I think herO's going to 3-0 this man.
He could.
He just looks like he's in great form.
Very well could do it, Tasteless.
You could see GuMiho is very good, though. He's definitely doing a good job hanging on, but like ultimately, herO just is managing to push through. So here's that Oracle coming up here. The Reaper's going to be scouting around. Of course, against herO, you do want to check everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
He's definitely somebody who's known to proxy.
Yeah, and he'll proxy all sorts of different stuff, too.
He'll proxy all 3 games if he feels like it.
Yeah, and he'll proxy all 3 techs if he feels like it.
Yeah.
This guy is not picky about the strategies that he ends up using. In fact, he's like basically the only Terran that'll go proxy, speed, warp, prism, disruptor drops against Terran. It doesn't always work, but it's fun to watch.
Okay, the 3rd Nexus is being made. Now, let's remember in the last game, he got a pretty quick Nexus, but he had actually shut down the drop. So it felt a little bit safer. We haven't really had a big drop come in here just yet. And it looks like he will just intercept this Reaper.
And down it goes.
Somehow that
shade
time seemed to take a little bit longer than the normal shade time. And so he's just making gates and making Phoenixes. And I guess if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah. And GuMiho, he's not really doing anything like too hyper-aggressive, just making a decent amount of Marines right now, getting Stimmin +1 reasonably quick. Didn't do anything like a Cyclone early on, which is actually a little bit sad for him in a way, because this is such a fast 3rd Nexus that if he, for instance, did the build where you have like a Cyclone...
I think it would work.
Yeah, he would be able to cancel
If he did
Nexus.
what he did last game, this game it would work, because this is like a really... This looks like a Brood War PvT right now. You're like, oh, I got like, what, 4 Dragoons? I'll make a 3rd Nexus. Like, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, in this case, I guess herO is kind of adjusting in a very intelligent way, right? He's saying, I am wrecking you so hard every time you push out that now I'm just going to be really greedy. You're probably not going to keep trying to push like that, because that was where the critical moment occurred in the last 2 games and you lost. So now I'm going to get really greedy, and then you push out later and I'm going to smash you. Turn you into a pancake nerd.
Yeah, and he's sitting back so defensively. Like, he's not risking his
sitting
Oracle.
There, he's like, why are you pouring syrup on me? He's like, because you're a pancake nerd now, man. You just got smashed.
Well, he's going to turn him into a waffle nerd pretty quick here.
Wow.
He's going to have all the little pockets for all the syrup.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Let's hope he doesn't turn into a waffle nerd. This is going to be pretty bad.
You don't want that.
Yeah. You like waffles or pancakes?
Pancakes.
Yeah, I like pancakes, too.
A lot of people are like, oh, I like the waffles.
I'm like, how much do you like syrup, man? This is a lot of syrup you're just eating. You're basically eating a bunch of cubes of syrup, man. That's kind of gross.
Yeah, isn't it? If you want a cup of syrup, just pour yourself a cup of syrup. Stop fooling yourself with a waffle.
Be a man and drink a cup of syrup.
Yeah.
Okay?
Jeez.
Get it out of the way. Okay, so he's got more gates coming. He's got 4 more gateways coming. He's got a warp prism set up. And we now see Terran, I believe, pushing out. It looks like that little blue blip on the map is edging towards the north.
All right, let's see what this army is. This army actually shouldn't do anything. I'm okay with him, like, poking forward. But, like, this army, if he attacks all the way, then hero's just going to win the game. Because, like, this is how a lot of Terrans end up losing against Adept Phoenix. Is they're like, okay, I have Marines. I'm going to move out with my Marines. And it's like, well, doesn't this counter Marines pretty well?
Yeah. Okay, he's laying a trap here. It looks like this would just get done, right? Oh, no, Terran would see that, actually. Okay, he triggers it with a 1 Marine.
Yeah,
Nicely
that was very
done.
nice.
Now, the Widow Mine needs to get up here, because that's how you can counter the Adepts and Phoenixes, although sometimes that can backfire depending on where the mine is dragged. So he backs up. He lays 2 mines, hoping he can fish that army forward into the mines. I don't think hero's going to bite the bait, though.
Yeah, this is a common move from GuMiho to move up with the Marines. He's trying to bait things, so like you said. But it actually ends up working.
It connected. Okay, those are really badly hit.
That was very well done, and he's actually going to get out. Does he have another boost on that? I'm not sure. Oh, Hero coming in with the Warp Prism, but GuMiho's ready there.
Okay, there's a Viking out of nowhere hitting that from above. He's going to try to micro this over. He needs these Phoenixes to cover that. Meanwhile, the Adepts hitting the front.
Oh, that's a lot of Marines spread out there, though.
I think you get the Warp Prism?
Yeah, the Warp Prism was taken out.
That was what was shot down at the top. Well, the Adepts are still in here doing some damage. I don't know. Are there any SCVs? Okay, there was nothing over there for now mining that base. Pretty bold move there by Hero. I didn't actually expect him to go all the way in, but
yeah,
it wasn't. I guess it kind of worked. He needs to remake that Warp Prism, which he's already doing right now.
I think he did it because he had the Warp Prism, and like it didn't work at all. And I actually really liked what he did there. He warped in 3 Zealots with it. Because one of the things that happens when you're multitasking is the Terran will just have a Marauder in the front that's getting healed, and the Adepts just all attack that, and then the Marines clean everything, right? And, but, like, kind of a cool little thing. I haven't seen anyone do that yet with this type of build, but very, very good defense from GuMiho so far. And the baiting of the 2 mines was awesome.
Yeah, it was very nicely done. Now, let's point out here, we have a 4th base, being acquired, while Terran is still on 2. It looks like he's going to try to come in here with Widow Mines. I don't know if this is going to work at all.
Oh, it doesn't look like he actually sees it. So drops both the mines off.
Okay,
this could be a
huge
amount of kills.
Here we go.
Oh,
8 kills. Nice.
Super well done.
But doesn't matter.
Oops.
He needs to get a 3rd base up here. It's kind of funny to see that Phoenix shot as the thing lands. Just kind of shoots the 2 lasers connected to nothing. Okay, well, he's coming in now.
Quite a shade right there, and it's going to be able to lift some of these Marauders. The Adepts going to town on these Marines. The top set of Marines actually doing reasonably well.
GuMiho's doing a pretty good job microing these Marines until these Phoenixes came in here and started doing the lifts.
He's targeting down Phoenixes. Very well done, and then picks up the rest of his units and gets out of there. It looks like we had another set of Widowmine hits going off as well.
7 kills there, so 8 plus 7 for kills at that base.
15.
The 4th base, look at you doing
next
math
question,
on
next
TV.
question.
All right, 6 plus 9.
15. And then you're like, 1 plus 1. 15. It's like I just got really lucky the first 2 times.
I wanted to see if you'd get the same number, too. I said you'd be like 14. I'm like, no, it's 15 again. Well done, Artosis.
Yeah.
The liberation zones are set up. I like the attacks here from Hero. It seems like he's attacking with just barely, not quite enough, though.
Yeah,
I think he almost should chill out and get a little bit more. I mean, he was on 4 bases to 2 for a little while. There's no reason to rush that moment.
Well, these attacks, like GuMiho has defended very well. His micro during the battles is fantastic also. Like, he's always making sure Marauders are in front, taking the hits. He was targeting down Phoenixes really rapidly, and as soon as it started to turn, he like evacuated as many units as he could possibly get out. So like, I am loving how GuMiho is attempting to play this series. Will it finally work one game?
I don't know. I will say that GuMiho keeps crawling back into this game and getting into a decent position. If you look at the supply right now, it's 165 to 133. Again, it's the 88 probes here for Protoss, but this means that Terran has a very scary army. He needs this 1-1 attack and armor upgrade to finish like really badly. The longer the game goes, the more these Marauders and Widow Mines that get into this army, the more the medevacs add up. We see Liberators now coming in there. That's when it becomes hard for Phoenix Adept to win. Phoenix Adept kind of loses equity longer in the game, and I'm wondering now if Hero's going to be regretting making those attacks earlier on.
I think he is, Tasteless. There is too much here for the Phoenixes. There's like too much heavy lifting, literally. They need to deal with Marauders, Mines, and these Liberators, and he can't do that at this point. In fact, he's going to be fighting with probes, it looks like.
Oh, my God.
I think herO realizes that
you need to hot your units, buddy. What are you doing?
Oh, boy.
Oh, that was hard to watch.
Dude, he's just super
just, like,
dead.
wasn't even watching his army that got pulled out. Okay, I think this game is... Oh, look at that. Okay, he just needs to survive then.
Look at these Widow Mines ready for this as well.
Okay, it's all right.
And then it warps in 20 Adepts and he wins. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Oh! Okay, he lost it. Well, I was going to say, if he could actually hang on. I believe that the second base is almost completely dried up. For Terran, I mean.
Yeah, I think you're right, but this army is not killable with what GuMiho has. I mean, with what herO has. Yeah. I mean, that's a nice pickoff, but...
He's going for it. Is he going to... He's not known. He's trying to pick up a lot of those Marauders, but the Marines are actually rotating around, and that's going to be GG, I believe. Look, I think herO could have won this game, but he didn't manage to close it out. I think he overextended a little bit too much.
Yeah.
GuMiho takes his first win in this best-of-5.
He's showing some absolutely superb anti-Adept Phoenix strategies here. Like, for instance, moving out with those Marines and trying to bait into the 2 mines. He's actually done this before on other maps in TVP. And herO fell for it there, taking that extra hits, and then chased everything home, tried to finish him, but, like, GuMiho really knows what he's doing against this style. Like, in all the series, even though he lost the first 2, he was approaching it in novel and good ways.
Yeah, the concept was not bad. It was just simply, it boiled down to execution. Well, herO has been sticking with a lot of this Phoenix Adept. Let's see what he does here in Game 4. Will he get creative? Will he do a proxy? Will he do a rush? He rushes a lot, guys. Or is he going to go for something greedy like the last game? He went for 3 Nexuses right away, and it went unpunished. If herO wasn't overextending so much in that last game, he would have won that easily.
Yeah.
When you get that 4th base up and there on 2, take a chill pill, man. Okay? Focus on the breath. You don't have to attack anytime soon. It's their problem, not yours. I'm so glad esports exists so that we can keep dubstep alive. In the bottom left.
SuperTournament Gaming, GuMiho.
The towel is off, guys. What does it mean?
I don't know.
In the bottom right, in the red.
Root Gaming, herO.
He's that sweaty palm micro.
This is the Drunken Master micro.
Marines are just going everywhere.
Though he brought water today. He's not doing an energy drink.
Oh, no.
Staying hydrated.
Well, I guess hydration's good, too.
Look at this.
Is that a Nexus?
Is that a Nexus? Or is that just like a really
Nexus first?
Is it a big pylon he made at the expansion?
No, not anymore. In Heart of the Swarm it was, basically, but...
Okay, he's going Nexus first. Now, this is a huge map.
Yeah.
But in this case, in their spawns, they're next to each other. No, and this is common in a lot of builds like this. You scout cross spawn first. If you don't see them in the cross spawn, then you need to immediately get ready for possibly them putting pressure on you.
hero's getting unlucky right now. I just saw the rally of that barracks. It's going towards his base. A rallied Reaper against Nexus first. Like, you use SimCity and you normally Chrono Boost out a Zealot to try to minimize damage, but still, like, someone of GuMiho's level, I think he's going to get tasteless maybe 4 probes or something like with this. Like, very doable.
Yeah, this is a bad draw to get here. However, whenever you do Nexus first, you're basically taking a risk.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
I mean, nobody's making you make that Nexus first.
Oh, this is brilliant, too. Oh. This is to slow the Reaper down, and he is not buying it.
It didn't work. Okay, he was trying to fake a pylon rush.
Yeah. GuMiho is too smart for this.
Yeah.
So he's going to get over there well before anything with range
Wouldn't
is
it be
out.
hilarious if a mothership did fly in and turn that on? We're like, oh, so sick. But look, he went the other way.
Oh.
He went north.
You know what? The probe came from that angle, so I guess that's why he decided that. Okay, well, you know, hero's done as much as he can to divert the Reaper, and now he's not going to take any damage from it, so that's good for him.
That was a big oh shit moment, though. When you see the Reaper and you're going Nexus first, you're like, oh. And then you like look around and you're in a studio with cameras on you, and you're like, oh, no. There he is. Artusha the Zealot.
Artusha?
That's you, man. with your long dreads.
Oh, my.
Don't worry, Tace is the Adept is being made.
Is that you're the Adept?
I'm for sure the Adept.
Well, I think you're actually the shade of the Adept. You're not the Adept itself.
My shade in there. Pure GG and shade back out. Okay, he gets the Reaper. Tace is the Adept, gets the Reaper. Where's his... Okay, there's Artosis wasting his time. He's like, I'll stop him if he gets up here, guys.
Like, hey, can you get charged this game? I don't want to be worthless. I'm not just
it's 3 attacks to kill a Zergling, but with +1, it's 2. No Zerglings in this game, Artosis. So we have Observers coming. Note the completely different tech choice here.
Yeah.
The one scary thing about when you go for a quick Nexus is you're basically getting your tech really late, and that usually means scouting's really late as well. Very important to keep that first Observer alive when you send that out. And you basically play a little bit of a defensive game for the time being until the macro really kicks in.
Yeah. Now, with Blink on the way, this is a very anti-drop-ish type of play. Like, you can absolutely shut down anything that comes your way early on, as long as it's not like a very strong push like with Siege Tanks or something. So, he's in good shape against what GuMiho is going for right now. GuMiho is just like, it's the same type of build we saw last game from him. But this is not Adept Phoenix he's against at all.
Okay. He's come forward now. Now note the positioning here. He can't quite get to where those workers are. He's trying to chip away at this pylon. I don't think it's going to work. And basically, herO successfully zoned out the Terran. Really nicely done.
Really patient on both sides as well. Even gets that Widow Mine. Wasn't sure if there was an Observer there, it looks like. This Observer getting a great scout on right now. And he actually sees that a Siege Tank is on the way. The Siege Tank is just slightly later. Like, if you start making Siege Tanks right away against these Blink openings, it's super duper duper good. And then if it's a little bit later, you know, obviously it like peters out, where it's like, okay, this isn't like a hard counter anymore. But Colossus tech already on the way here for herO.
Another drop coming in, trying to see if he can't shave off any probes, but the Zealot Artosis drives him out.
Well, you see Artosis there. You're backing up, friend.
That's right, man.
Those Marines like, not dealing with that. Oh.
We got Blink almost done here, which is going to make everything. Whoa. Oh, my God.
That's painful.
I almost missed that. I didn't see the mine there at first until it shot.
Either did herO.
Yeah. And he's actually going to run right into these Marines, isn't he? Okay, good job. He pulls back. He can try to push up here. Now, with Siege Tanks up, it's a lot harder for Protoss to break. Blink is just not that great against tanks unless you can Blink right on top of them.
He might. Okay. Oh, my God. He's going for it,
man.
Yeah,
all right. Beat me to it.
Oh!
Problem is, if you Blink on top of those Marines, it can be pretty problematic. The Marines just sitting up there. Look at that. herO's, why so handsome?
Yeah, he's really quite good with Blink Stalkers. No doubt about that. Always known for this.
Done enough Blink all-ins in his life. Look at that. Baited out the stem and ran away.
He's doing a mighty fine job here, and he's getting Glaives behind it as well as Thermalance and Colossus. So getting exactly the type of units that he needs to try to hold off any big tank push that should be coming in. Third Nexus on the way, too.
3 more gates finishing up here. He still has the Warp Prism, and it's actually that Tasteless Zealot and the Artosis, the Tasteless Adept and the Artosis Zealot in that Warp Prism Artosis.
Well, that's why it's so scary.
Yeah, that's why. That's why GuMiho can't leave.
How many shots does it take for Tasteless and Artosis to kill an SCV? That's the question.
It's like 6. We're pretty bad, man.
Oh, man.
We're the only units that the upgrades don't affect. Well, like, for the time being, this game is kind of sizing up a lot like the other games we've seen. The question is, will the pressure build from GuMiho be something that herO can trip up?
Well, the Siege Tanks are definitely, like, very good, and there are Liberators on the way. And if you get into that kind of middle area, that 4-way intersection, and you're actually sieged up and have Liberators, it's really hard for Protoss to break through. But herO, his army's getting pretty good. He's got 4 Disciples of Artosis in there that aren't going to do as much, but definitely will tank some. But Glaives is finishing as well, which is really nice.
Okay, he's triggering the tanks to siege up. This is what you want to do when you see a push like this. Make them siege, and then you just back up. Make the Terran really work for every pixel they push across the map on. He's not going to do this yet. Oh, he's going to go up for it. We see Guardian Shield. Adept's kind of just shaded it all over the place. But I don't think it matters.
He's killing off a lot, man. Getting the Siege Tanks, and that's really the backbone of this army. Even takes out a Liberator.
Yeah, and he can keep pushing now. There's no tanks here to stop this. Okay, he's got one up here now. and he'll back up. Third Nexus is done. He's actually going to get Disruptors here, and he is set up with a Warp Prism to possibly come in and start warping into the main or the natural.
Yeah, definitely liking the position of herO at the moment, but Vikings are on the way. Some more Siege Tanks as well. It's interesting to see these Disruptors being made, because Disruptors sometimes are the most magnificent units in the whole world. Like, you sitting there watching and canning highlights, you're like, wow, this is the best unit. But then sometimes you'll see someone like Bjorn or something be like, what is that? And he just splits everything in different directions. Like, you take the towel off the mouse, man, and suddenly the Disruptors are not hitting.
Let's check, because he's still got the towel on the mouse. Look, you see? Look, I'm trying to...
He's got it off right now.
Okay, no towel on the mouse.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. All right. He did get the Warp Prism. That means that Protoss doesn't get this, like, really convenient position to basically lock Terran in.
Does he have just 2 Colossus total?
Yeah, he went 2 Colossus and then he switched into Disruptors.
That actually can make it really painful if you spend too much money on Vikings. Because, like, 2 Colossus, that's right around the number where you're like, how many Vikings do I make against this? Like, a lot of times it's actually overkill because 2 Colossus, like, you know, if 3, that's right where you're like, yes, I want a ton of Vikings. But then, yeah, it's like, do you make so many that the Colossus die right away, and then it's like, well, we have all these Disruptors in here now.
When you're expanding slower than your opponent, you're more tempted to make land mules. You need to do catch-up, so you might not be scanning as much. And also, you know, if the tank count is dropped, I don't believe he's making any tanks right now, then the Disruptors become very good. You know, you can basically just hit these clumps. They either have to split perfectly or try to pick up, and then you have enough, you know, of everything else you can just shoot down, medevac.
By the way, Liberator range is going to be on the way in just a moment here.
Okay.
So that's really helpful for this map.
I will tell you this, though. I feel like in these spots, Liberator range is not as useful as it is on so many other maps.
I would say that it becomes very useful when you get into position in front of the natural. If you can get there with Liberators, then suddenly it's like, oh, this is so hard to attack. But it's so fun.
As far as harassing goes, I feel like it's not, you know, as handy.
Yeah, there's some spots that it's like, okay, the main base is not going to be that good. The side
base,
of the natural, maybe?
Yeah,
no, third base.
Third base is
really.
absolutely out of the question. Fourth base, it's pretty far out there.
He's still probably going to force him to get like a Stargate or something if he does lots of harassment with it, but herO's going to want to stay very active on the map, moving around a hell of a lot against these ranged Liberators when they come out. GuMiho, he needs a turtle for the time being. Really get a lot of supply.
Hero's going to try to pressure in here.
Oh, boy.
Okay, here we go. We'll see if he activates the Guardian Shield. That means he's probably going to do it. There we go.
Okay, those are way too far ahead.
That was way big
too far
overextension.
Ahead. Okay, let's see what he does with these Disruptor hits, though. Okay, that's a good one.
Hits the Marauders.
And there's another good one. Okay.
Well, these Colossi are still in this game, Artosis.
Indeed they are.
He did a great job. Sorry, my hand was like right in front of the monitor.
You literally had your hand over his arm. You're like, I don't know what's left, actually.
I can only cast this game if I'm covering your eyes when I'm talking, Artosis. Yeah. I'm sorry. He sets up the Liberators. By the way, 14 SCVs killed back there is a pretty big deal. And he's going to come in again. He needs to target down these Liberators. The Vikings are coming in. By the way, he's not targeting very well with the Colossi. They're actually hitting all things the command center, which was literally the worst thing he could have attacked back there.
Has to repair it and lift it off for the time being. This army's getting smaller and smaller from here. He has lost a Colossus. He has just 2 Disruptors left.
Is he going to get it?
Yeah,
he is. That was sick. Just puts a force field there so they can't quite get under.
Yeah, that was nice. Oh, Disruptor.
Oh.
I mean, not Disruptor.
Liberator.
Yeah, Liberator. Opposite of Disruptor.
And, I think killing that command center was a pretty big deal. And once again, like we've seen in previous games, he's going to lift the command center in his main.
Yeah, he's got like an okay set of Liberators here. He's about to have 2-2, so that's definitely going to help out in this next fight, especially considering the splash damage has gone down dramatically. Half of the Colossus died in that last battle.
Yeah.
So if Disruptors don't hit, then he doesn't win the battle.
Ooh! Ouch.
All right, that's a nice hit.
All he has to do is whittle down this army over here. He can stay back and try to be as abusive as possible. Terran kind of up against the ropes right now. By the way, the only logical expansion Terran could take after this is the center left. Everything else is going to be pretty hard. We see the push coming out now. He's staying out of range of the Liberators. The Immortals are starting to get pulled to the back of the pack, but Terran does not pursue.
GuMiho might get into a good position here, Taste. Right there is where Liberators... Look at this.
Look at that.
How do you break that? How do you break that?
It's never been done before.
It's never been done. You better have Tempest. You want to break this.
4 armies maxed out. It's still a game of chance.
Can you imagine? It doesn't even. It could be 4 armies of slow zealots, and it would kill this.
I think he overextended there. That was not necessary.
Couple really good disruptor hits.
I think he needs to just stay back with the disruptors. That's all I think you're supposed to do.
Well, this is getting really tough. He's making lots of stalkers, but if those stalkers try to blink in, the Marauders and Marines will just shred them. There's not enough splash damage to quickly remove this unless the sickest disruptor hit occurs.
I think he wants to try to hit that bottom chunk. Hold on. Terran is still fighting. Okay, he's gonna. He
wants to
for a second. He wanted to try to come in there and gun down that disruptor. It didn't work.
Yeah, either that or even bait the shot, and then he can move forward. Okay.
Oh, this is cute.
That is a pretty big tell that he's going to move soon, right? You would think. He's trying to buy time for 2-2.
Yeah, I think he's just buying time. I don't know if he's going to attack in that at all. Yeah. He's,
look at
this.
this.
Edge away, edge away.
This area, man, this is hell on earth. Like you're being attacked. How do you get in there?
This. He's edging forward.
Look at that. It's like the Olympic rings right now.
Yeah. Is he going to go for this? I think.
Yeah, he is.
Okay,
he's
here we go.
That's a lot of Liberators. He's going to be able to blink in and kill a couple of these Liberators off right away. Where is that disruptor hit?
The disruptor hit, I think, hit the top, but there's still a lot here at the bottom. He needs to try to take out the rest of everything that's down here. It looks like he actually has enough. He did it, and it wasn't even 4 armies maxed out.
Oh, did he do it, though?
No. It's still a game of chance.
Look at that. He's got 5 Liberators in here. Not much bio left over, but enough that the Stalkers can't just erase these Liberators.
Yeah, even just with the 1 or 2 extra Liberators there, it's enough that Protoss can't really hold his ground. And I think he might have done it, man. He's going to unpower this pylon.
Yeah, and this is enough Liberators that I don't see any way out of this. He's working in Adepts. Those don't shoot up. Yeah, man, bringing it back.
Did it, guys.
Dude, this
is... We're going to go to Game 5. Awesome.
Super Tournament's too good. Guys, tell your friends. This is ridiculous, the games that we're seeing here tonight already.
I can't believe this. Yeah, GuMiho did it. GuMiho might actually do the 3-0 comeback. This was GG. Nicely done.
Just the Liberator range was so useful once he got into that position. That position is so tough, man.
It's funny, too, because like the way the Liberators are set up, sometimes you can't even quite see all of them. Like I'm seeing shots coming, I'm like, oh, yeah, there's a Liberator up there, too.
You're just sitting there
over here at the bottom.
White circles and stuff. You're like, can I break this many white circles?
He also targeted that disruptor after the first shot. It was in the middle of the army. He blew that up. You really do need the disruptors to hit these Marine clumps down there.
Yeah. All right, our last map going to be Proxima Station. herO started out so good. It really looked like he was going to take it pretty quickly, but GuMiho has fought back. I think strategically today, GuMiho has been playing top-tier Terran vs. Protoss, now showing such great understanding of how to defeat everything that herO throws at him. Whether he wins or not, his understanding of what he's trying to do has been great.
Now the question I have is, what build does herO do now? I mean, he went for a fast Nexus, and I thought he actually did a decent job. It's just GuMiho's push is so solid. Does he try to do something a little bit crazier? Does he do like some kind of proxy? Does he do a rush? Does he want to chalk it up to chance? Because, you know, this is why we have to play a best-of-5, guys. Because in a best-of-5, you don't just lose one game and go, oh, man. You have time to adapt, and that's what GuMiho's doing. That's scary. It's going to be up to herO to try to figure something out, or he's going to get knocked out here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what he'll go for here, because he has like a lot of different builds that he can try. Like, does he go for Adept Phoenix again? GuMiho has shown that he's very good against Adept Phoenix, but Adept Phoenix is kind of the strongest build in PvT overall, so like it's not a bad choice. Does he proxy something? What about GuMiho's side? What if he cheesed? Would he want to proxy something?
No, I don't think so.
Like tries to float like 2 barracks in the main. I'm like, what are you doing? What is this?
No, I mean, I don't think he needs to cheese, because he was trying these pushes. It wasn't quite working out, and he's made a few adjustments, and it's starting to work. And it almost feels like herO does not pan out that well the longer the game goes.
Yeah,
like he seems to want to end it a little bit prematurely.
He's always trying to kill people.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to get more ahead as much.
Yeah.
He wants to go kill them.
Because, like, I mean, even that one game, he was on 4 bases, Terran's on 2. It's like, why would you attack right now?
Yeah.
Just wait. Let the Terran land the command center. Let him land it. Even wait for the SCVs to get transferred, then attack. Right when they're actually starting to use it. You don't. Whenever you're ahead in StarCraft, the onus is on your opponent to figure something out.
You know, herO
in a normal macro game, those are the basic rules you can always follow, and you're fine. And herO's breaking those rules.
The game's about to start.
Season 1.
Let's go, Jason.
Let's do this.
Let's go.
Game number 5.
Wow. Video game.
on TV. In the bottom left, in the blue, he is
SuperTournament Gaming, GuMiho.
This is from the GSL UFO we're flying over. It's one of our drones. Okay, he's got the towel on the mouse again. Looks like he's got an oven mitten on. In the upper right, in the red.
Root Gaming, herO.
Now, what if we saw him mix up the meta and he had a towel over his hand?
Oh my god.
He was actually holding, he had a catcher mitten over his hand.
Speaking of catcher mitts, actually, you made me think of something. It's herO. Oh, is this Command Center first? This is really cool. This is super good against pylon rushes. But, okay, so just real quick.
You guys don't know the secret that Artosis can only play StarCraft if he has Mickey Mouse gloves on. Sorry, what were you saying? Go ahead.
That's an excuse for my micro then.
Yeah, he's only got 3 fingers, too. Go ahead.
I think herO is kind of like Babe Ruth, where like Babe Ruth had the most home runs, but he also had like the most strikeouts. It's like we have so many spectacular victories out of herO because he is trying to kill people so much, and he is so good at that. But at the same time, sometimes you see games like for instance, in IM Katowice when he got when he was losing a lot of games in his group and ended up not making it through. Over half those games, he had an advantage, and then maybe stayed on the same tech too long or tried to kill a little bit prematurely.
Well, I guess if you rush people all the time, you're very good at the execution killing blow so often, but I feel like sometimes when we watch him play, I think you're totally right. It's like, there was a cleaner way to try to end this game, and sometimes it's like he's his own worst enemy.
Yeah.
Some of these times he's attacked, I look at it and I think, you didn't have to do that.
Yeah. Well, this is the beautiful thing about StarCraft is everyone's kind of expressing themselves while they play, and there isn't anyone that can play like herO, but also always back up at the right time. Because those are two completely different mindsets.
Play style, it really is like a form of self-expression when you see what people prioritize and how they try to end games. And I mean, look, herO is one of the scariest Protosses you ever would face against. Yeah. Because you just don't know. And a lot of the times,
I think you got to put him second to SOS, really. He's just
yeah, I would say so, especially nowadays. Because the thing is, when you look at how much people have to practice StarCraft and all the different things you have to know in different situations, a lot of times herO's so good at one thing that you don't even get to show what you knew.
Yeah.
He's like, what is late game? And then these oracles come in and kill everything, and you're like, oh, I had all these good places to put liberators later on in this game, but I guess I don't get to get that far.
You gotta be quite an expert at the early game to just stay alive against this guy. Which, by the way, he's going for the Oracle now. Command Center first stops things dead like pylon rushes and whatnot. Oracle is a good opener against it, and in fact, he is taking the most quick third that a human has yet taken. It is so fast. Before the Oracle even finishes, he starts his third base.
I think that the quick command center is a much more a reaction to the map than it is to the opponent.
It could be.
I think he just,
it's a good
no matter
map for
what
it.
On this map, he just does this.
Sure.
I might be wrong, but we'll see. The Oracle's now
I think both are good reasons, so let's just have both good reasons, right?
Why not have both, guys?
Yeah.
Oracle's coming down now, and you're totally right, man. This is such a quick third. But Terran did go for mass barracks right away. He didn't try to tech on this.
Yeah, he has a lot of units. If he wanted to, he could move out after he makes turrets and try to put some pressure on because there's just not really any gateway units. But hero's gotten a pretty quick mothership core as well, so he's pretty safe. You're not too afraid of Marines before they have stim, really.
True.
Just plain vanilla Marines are meh.
I don't even really think about Marines until they have stim.
Yeah.
Just overall. They're just nowhere near as much of a threat.
Now, this is kind of interesting. He's going for a Twilight and a Forge. Well, he's gotten such a quick third base that this can still work going into, Adept Phoenix, if that's what he wants to go for. But GuMiho has already shown he's very good with mass bio against Adept Phoenix. And he's started with a command center first. So, this is the build with which you can get the most bio.
Look at what good he is at spreading these Marines out. Yeah. Everything is forking out perfectly.
Oh, it's actually a Blink build. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, the macro is really starting to kick in for Terran since taking that quick base. We had more gateways. We have more gateways being made now. He just finished a few more back there in his main. But I think Terran just pushing like this is actually not a bad idea.
No.
Stim's going to be done. Look, yeah, there are no medevacs with this army yet.
Yeah.
But that's kind of okay because this is a shockingly large amount of Marines. Now, you got to be careful when you use stim. I don't think we're going to see GuMiho get baited, but this is something you can do is try to come out there, for instance, with the Oracle and try to get him to stim and run away because you're making the army kill itself. So it's probably not going to happen, but when he does stim, it's going to be very important he does as much damage as possible.
Well, he's got, like, no units right now. Look at that. He's got 1 Adept. This has been as greedy as you can get. He's made some sentries, and he's actually making a Void Ray. Void Ray is technically outrange Marines, so maybe that'll be helpful, but...
Yeah, he just has sentries. He's going to make a wall, then that wall's going to stop, and he's going to die.
I think none of these Marines are going to make it home tasteless, but there's definitely a chance that he can just break through here.
Yeah, let's see. Keep in mind, though, too, if he loses all these Marines, that's a lot that he invested in that he doesn't have for later on when actually medevacs are there and the Marines are even better. Okay, he triggers the pylons. He's trying to get more warpins here.
Okay, so that's
nothing has been cast yet by the sentries. He's actually making a cannon back there. Just anything to try to keep the Terran at bay. Now, Terran doesn't have to go in. They don't have to commit.
I think he's trying to get more overcharges out of him, and then, like, when medevacs come up, that's when he
here
goes,
we go!
Oh, stimming forward right now. Another overcharge goes down. That is the last overcharge.
Whoa!
A quick pickup, but oh my god, he doesn't unload that medevac, and the Void Ray snaps its medevac neck.
And I mean, that was actually a big moment there. Very good hold by herO. Even with some... Void Rays up there at the top.
Oh my god, he just got another medevac.
That's so huge.
Oh my god.
Because when you do that mass barracks build, instead of getting a starport immediately, you're automatically behind on the medevac incrementation of them coming out over and over and over. That's pretty big. And with Protoss basically having the third base kick in, he's making a lot of money. He can really finance a huge army.
Yeah.
It's possible that the counterattack here from Protoss, if he does do it, could end the game. Although it seems almost as though herO's kind of learned from his previous games.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting back.
He's setting up, like, better circulation for himself, throwing down pylons to spot any incoming drops. He's got some patrolling units around the map, like a Phoenix and whatnot. So he's trying to make sure that GuMiho can't hurt him right now. Because, like, I don't think you want to attack until Glaives is done anyways, even if you do want to attack so quickly. So I kind of, like, really appreciate the direction in which herO is bringing this right now.
Well, I think, you know, herO is somebody who's constantly adapting too. I mean, we've mostly been praising GuMiho for learning from his mistakes, but herO had 2 bumpy games back there, and, you know, both times he didn't really need to attack. Instead, he's just going to stay back here and try to really get the proper tech, and, you know, it's kind of up to GuMiho to play a little bit of catch-up here.
He's scouting right now with a Reaper around the map, just making that kind of an interesting choice to check out all over the place. Now,
I love this.
Gold base,
Yeah, this is good. This is really going to force Terran to do something. Terran either has to kill this or expand to a gold base himself.
Yeah, and I don't think he can really take a gold base right now. He'd need a planetary there. I like this route. He's actually going to go for Liberators with range, which can be very good on, well, really any map, but this is a good one too because it's like really only one attack path towards the 3 bases of Terran realistically, so I think he's hunkering down for a long game here. He's going to let herO bleed a little bit while he attacks into him because herO always is going to be like, okay, I'm going to try to kill you now. And then maybe that's where GuMiho, you know, fights back.
Looks like he actually does manage to catch this War Prism up here at the top. Not the biggest deal in the world. He'll just have to remake that if he wants to ever try to move out or push on the map. And, you know, to what you were saying, Artosis, I think you're correct. I think he is just going to try to go for a really long game here.
Yeah.
And maybe see if, once again, herO tries to, you know, to peek in and maybe overextends. herO is sometimes just his own worst enemy.
Yeah.
He's so scary, and he commits so hard to some of these attacks. And it's quite different from a lot of these other Protoss players that we've had. herO is kind of, you know, we talk about like Rain, you know, this defensive style of play, or SOS, and he's super brainy, or stats, and he's kind of just this well-rounded guy. And then herO is just like the Protoss with rabies.
He's like an executioner for sure. The Smiling Assassin is a fitting nickname for him.
Yeah.
You know, it's he's got the executioner's axe at all times, but he doesn't even wear a mask because he's having fun. But Colossus are on the way. The range for Liberators is coming out, and there's a lot of Liberators already with more on the way. Fourth CC rather, and good upgrades on both sides. So yeah, it's really looking like this game should be going long. The things that I feel like these guys need to look out for is massive moves into the main base. Like if there's a prism that flies in, that can be devastating to GuMiho. And of course, Liberators plus, oh my god, look at this. He's actually going forward.
Whoa.
I'm surprised he's attacking right now, right before Liberator range.
Well, he's got a good position here. It looks like he's about halfway to getting to the Protoss's base. Now, let's see. I worry that herO's actually going to attack in here. Because herO's done this a lot.
Yeah, he's walking around right now.
Oh,
okay.
wait, hold on.
GuMiho's
backing up. Whoa! That was kind of crazy looking.
Yeah,
because it blinked over that. He's sending these Adepts over here. The Terran army seems to be getting split up. There's really no way the Stalkers can blink under that. Not with mines, not like that.
Ooh.
Marines and Marauders closing in on these Adepts.
Yeah, he's catching a lot of them right there. Very well done. Some do get behind this mineral line.
Bleeding off a huge amount of your army.
Yeah.
By the way, we have a Dark Shrine coming in here. And Colossi are being continuously made. But look, this entire little play got like 6 SCVs. That's not worth it, guys.
You know what? herO is switching up his tempo completely. He's going for Tempest at this point.
Wow.
And that is, like, obviously Tempests are going to be a great counter against ranged Liberators. If he just does, like, a very careful push where he has High Templars and Colossus backing up, you know, just Tempests that are pegging away on the ranged Liberators, that is, I mean, that's as solid as you can get for a late macro game Protoss.
This is like that final tag. Now, as this is going on, Protoss, wow, you need to get out of those liberation zones. Whoa.
Wow. I think there were some mines in there. That was brutal. Yeah, everything is the same color orange, must be.
There are ancient trees that have less rings in them than we saw liberation zones on that. Look at this. He's trying to stay out now. He is keeping Terran pretty honest back here. Looks like he's going to come in here for the tag.
Yeah, he's got to continually like kind of push back against this a little bit because it takes a while to get Tempest out.
The thing is, when you have this many Liberators, the Liberators operate as the pushing tool itself.
Yeah.
You just keep moving them forward, and the other Liberators cover each other. Oh, my God.
Look at that. He just gets like a single poke in with those Colossus on the bio. It doesn't matter that much.
This is cool. Because it's a slow push, he keeps sending these Adepts over here. And doing a lot of damage, actually. It really forces Terran back. In fact, all the Terran army came back.
I'm a little bit surprised he brought the entire
That's kind of crazy. The
there.
Liberators are back? Everything?
Yeah, because he was
exactly what Protoss wanted.
He was getting close to the gold base. And it's like, the longer he waits, the more likely it is that we're going to see Tempest in here. Okay,
that was a kind of a crazy move there. He does get that one Liberator.
You know, he's already got the Oracle to tag him, so when the Tempests come out, this gets really hard to push with these.
Oh my God, that was sick.
That was really good.
Can he do it again? The Liberation
It's a disruptor-sized hole in that army. Look at this.
He's got so many Liberators. He has 2 sets of Liberators, and then when one gets set up, the other 2 slide in, get a little bit further forward, and here's the Tempest.
Yeah. So he starts to push back. It's only 1, so that's a little bit slow at killing these Liberators, but he's going to continue to grow that, getting that Liberator.
I mean, the push is happening. This is not going to... I don't think he's going to turn around from here. He's got 2 Tempests now. He's underneath the Liberation Zone. Oh, the Marines and Marauders are coming in. Disruptor comes down, but the Marines and Marauders do back up.
Yeah, thank God that he pushed him back there for a moment, because that was starting to go very south very quickly for the Colossi.
Okay, Terran's got a really good arc. I don't know if Protoss can ever attack into this. From top to bottom of the screen, look at this. He's stemming forward. Is he going to have enough? 4 Colossi here. Wow, look at that. He actually did a great job back there, even shaving off some of those Marines and Marauders as they back up. Now it's 200 supply to 147. A very good chance that Protoss may try to counterattack here. If Protoss can smash this lower center base, Terran is broke.
He has got a sick bank as well, so this push from herO absolutely could end this game. The Liberators being caught out, and that might be the final straw for GuMiho. He does not have the tech that he needs to stop this.
Okay, he's coming down. I don't believe there's anything over here, right? Okay, there's some ghosts.
Yeah.
That's novel.
Ghosts a little bit late, but...
Yeah. He's coming down now. Note this command center is almost gone. It looks like it'll barely be repaired in time. I love the angling here is not exactly spectacular for the Protoss. Wow!
More Protosses lose games attacking planetaries than any other way, I think. That was about the only way for him to lose that army. And
the thing is that he has so much money banked up, he just is going to remake his army and probably attack in again.
It's going to be even better than before. Finally got to drain off some of this bad supply, right? It's like right into Tempest and Colossus. Taking more bases right now as herO. GuMiho, he's still in it, you know. He's got his gold base. He's mining. Not a whole lot, but...
Meanwhile, GuMiho basically does not have a lot of options. I mean, GuMiho is going to have to eventually expand. Terran don't expand out into the map that well later on. Terran, you kind of got to make use of your race at a certain point in the game, like early on. It's just it's not that you can't win as Terran later on, but it's harder for Terran to set up bases and hold him.
Blink in here. He does get the Nexus, and he'll trade reasonably well with these Stalkers, I guess. So
it's not
pretty
terrible.
Much worth it.
And it looks like the next expansion Terran wants to get is actually over here, right in the bottom center.
That's really far for Protoss to actually walk that whole way to attack that. That gives Terran a big opening to kill at one of your bases, so I kind of like the fact he's taking it, but the harassment, because this is not a planetary, could be really hard for GuMiho to stop.
Yeah, he's actually going to land. Look at this. He's just using the hand-me-down command centers to go to these other bases. Now, if he actually targets down the command center, he can kill it. Oh,
that's a good move
that
right
was
there.
sick.
Great usage of those disruptor shots.
Explosions. Now, Terran is going to try to come in here, and in fact, I think this is just one pylon, so he can actually unpower this and actually massacre like all these probes. Wow.
But the economy of GuMiho, it took a huge beating by losing that gold base. This is really all he has is that bottom command center.
Well, the thing is that, oh, look at this. He's getting DTs here. Now, keep in mind, there's only like 2 orbitals in this game, so he does not actually have a lot of scans. This is a very smart move here by herO.
Looks like he can maybe cancel this off as well, but...
In fact, he kills it. He doesn't even end up getting the cancel, but... you know, the problem is that basically I think herO is too big to fail.
I think you're probably right, but if GuMiho continues to gain this much value, maybe there's some sort of shot to get back into it.
Well,
he does have his command center in that top left area now, so he's rebuilding some economy.
That is true. I just feel like I think it's not hard here for herO to just stabilize. If you look at the overall worker count, it's 23 SCVs, and a few of those are being killed as we speak.
Okay, just to throw this out there, herO's almost not mining and has like less than 500 minerals. Fact, obviously, his army is a lot better. He just spent
the remainder of his money on an expansion. So I think what he needs to do is just sit at that expansion, not this one. He's denied this one for the time being, although it will be reclaimed here by GuMiho. But I think he needs to just sit at where that Nexus is making on the center right. And the fact that herO's moving out makes me a little bit worried because, yeah, he does not have a lot of money. There's like one way that GuMiho could win this. But, of course, he does also have to answer to this big army that's pushing through.
The army is so deadly. I don't think he can kill the army.
Depths, Colossi, Disruption balls.
Boy, yeah. Oh, the Disruptor shot's basically all with?
Yeah, they didn't really connect with anything. I think they got 1 Marine there.
It's still a much scarier Protoss army, though. That is not something you want to fight against.
Terran's rotating around.
Seeing if he can outmaneuver him here. The Tempest and Colossus a little bit clunky.
I don't know what's warping in back at home, but this is smart. Just setting this 1 DT over here. Okay, so what is Terran going to do? That's really the big question. This army is a lot faster. Dude, I think herO might actually be screwing up here. Look at this.
This is a tough one. Where's his army? It's in the middle coming back right now.
You can actually get that Nexus again.
If he just keeps out-rotating him. You know what I want?
Okay, that was important, getting those force fields up, but he didn't complete the wall.
Oh, there you go.
He needs to get the wall up here to stop.
Is that complete enough for you, Tasteless?
Wow. GG. Okay. herO did it. I was a little bit worried back there.
GuMiho was really fighting back well there
Great
at the end of Game 5. That was awesome.
That was just series number 1.
We're going to be here all night.
That's right, man. That actually was a long series. Let's see here. Let me check my phone. That was an hour and a half, dude.
Yeah.
We got 3 more of these.
Oh, I can't wait. We're going to have a winner's interview as well coming up here.
All night long.
Some good sportsmanship being shown there.
Yep.
All these pros are basically
Let him out of the cage.
Yeah.
You're free now.
Oh, no, that shot shows that there's actually a way out.
No, don't shut the door.
But that was a really super well-played series from both sides. I can't believe how good everyone is at StarCraft right now.
Yeah.
Everyone has improved so much in the last 6 months. It's crazy.
It's the best part about StarCraft to see people develop and change. Looks like we have our interview ready with Guri and herO. So that was a back and forth series we saw back there. I'm here with the victor herO. He won. So you're in the semifinals. How do you feel?
일단 요새 좀 연습 저번에 이기고 이번에 연습 많이 해가지고 좀 자신감이 넘쳤는데 병재가 좀 특이한 빌드를 준비해가지고
I had a lot of confidence today.
그거에 좀 말렸던 것 같은데 그래도
Especially
마지막에는
since I beat TY already, who's a
간파에서
great Terran player.
맞춤식으로 제가 해가지고
네.
상황이 좋아가지고 이길 수 있었던 것 같아요.
Perhaps though I was almost a little bit overconfident at points in time. That's maybe why I lost those 2 games back there, and that's why I had to go to game 5.
네, 제가 방송에서 이런 운영을 잘 안 하다 보니까 좀 더 긴장하는 것 같아요. 이런 운영을 하게 되면.
네. 와, 5세트
Yeah,
아직도 저희는 잘 모르겠는데 빌드도
after those losses, I got a little bit nervous back there.
해방선이 쌓이면서 정말 돌파구가 보이지 않았었거든요. 어떻게 이긴 것 같으세요?
근데
So it seems like your builds were really advanced. Can you tell us about that?
원사도로 트리플을 쨌기 때문에 제가 더 괜찮다고 생각했고 병재가 마지막엔 빌드를 꼬긴 꼬더라고요. 그래가지고 좀 당황하긴 했는데 상황 자체는 나쁘지 않아서
And what was your take on the overall games today? He says throughout the games, I think my situation wasn't that bad.
오늘 자신감이 넘쳤다 이렇게 말씀하셨는데
And I just tried to solve each game individually rather than taking in the big picture.
특히 공명사도
네.
톱했던 거 맞죠? 오늘 기분 탓은 아닌 것 같은데.
그거는 이길 수가 없어가지고 그냥
Whenever I saw you playing
들어간
the adept style, it seems like you're maybe too aggressive. What do you think about that?
많이 잘 터져라 하고 그냥 들어간 거예요.
오늘 전반적으로 그렇게 톱할 수가 없었거든요. 저희 중계진도
Yeah, it looked like that, but I was just trying to go for the mines in there.
아무래도 좀
Get rid of them.
연습 때 자신감이 좀 있다 보니까 더 과감했던 것 같아요. 게임에서.
그런 적극적이고 공격적인 모습 저희 볼 때는 아주
Anyways,
즐거웠습니다.
I think because I was so confident today, that's why I was looking so aggressive.
이제는 무조건 저그거든요. 한지원 선수와 박명우 선수가 기다리고 있습니다.
Since you've been showing a great performance, we're really hoping that you're going to have great games in the round of 4. What do you think you're? Excuse me. How do you think you're going to perform in the round of 4 in the semifinals?
일단 오늘 가가지고 일단 연습 좀
I
많이
think
해야
a
될
week
것 같아요.
against Zerg, to be honest.
저그전은 어려우세요?
저 아직까지
I feel like I'm going to have to practice really hard tonight.
자, 이렇게 테란전에서 완벽한 모습, 저그전에서도 팬분들이 기대하고 있을 겁니다. 팬분들께 마지막 한마디 들려주시죠.
Any words to your fans?
오랜만에 좀 이렇게 리그도 많이 상위 라운드에 올라간 것 같아서 되게 기분이 좋은데
Yeah, I haven't really
열심히 연습해가지고
been getting deep in a lot of my tournaments recently.
수 있도록 할 테니까 많이 응원해 주세요.
But since I made it to the semifinals, I'm going to do my very best for you guys.
네, 감사합니다.
Please cheer for
자,
me.
이렇게 연이어서 테란전을
Sweet, man.
Yeah,
Great
really,
series.
just a superb series. GuMiho playing fantastically, but herO a bit too much for him.
It was one where you could see both players were like learning and adjusting and adapting, but ultimately herO pulled through in the end. Yeah. We're going to go to a short break. When we come back, our second best of 5 in the Super Tournament round of 8.